is حضور القلب بين يدي الله تعالى مستحضرا لقربه فيسكن لذلك قلبه وتطمئن نفسه وتسكن حركاته ويقل التفاته متأدبا بين يدي ربه مستحضرا جميع ما يقوله ويفعله في الصلاة من أول صلاته إلى آخرها فتنتفي بذلك الوسواس والأفكار الرديئة وهذه روح الصلاة والمقصود منها وهو الذي يكتب للعبد. I want to read you this statement. Wallah, this statement alone I would buy the book for it. I would have bought the book just for this paragraph. He said khushu' is for your heart to be present in front of Allah the Exalted, keeping in mind His nearness, so your heart settles down and your soul becomes tranquil and your actions settle down and you don't move around a lot and you have excellent manners presenting yourself before your Lord, thinking about everything that you say and do in your prayer from the beginning of the prayer to the end. And this negates the presence of whispering and evil thoughts. This is the spirit of the prayer and it is what is intended from it, and this is the only thing that will be written down for you. And لا يكتب لك من الصلاة إلا ما كان هذا وصفه. Nothing is written down for you from the prayer except this. When your heart is present. For here, I wanted to share with you, and we can't go for too long, but I want to share with you a benefit. Where does khushu' start? The heart, right? It's amal min amal qulub. It's from the actions of the heart. And because of it, what happens? The body becomes still and the mind becomes still because the heart is still. And the person thinks about everything they say before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we say that there is talazum bayna al-zahiri wal-batin, it is therefore possible, if there's a connection between your inner self and outer self, it's also possible to increase the khushu' in your heart through your actions. And the connection works both ways. So by trying to remain still, and by not moving around and looking around and moving yourself around, this helps your heart to become focused. And the more your heart is focused, the more you will be still. And in this, wallahi, you will hear the ajaib from the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, that some of them, the birds would land on them during the Salah. That the bird would land on them during the Salah because they are completely and totally still. Rather from some of the Salaf, that when they had to have something, I don't remember, amputated or something very serious done to them, they offered them alcohol. He said, no, I will not take alcohol. And that was at the end of the day, like the painkiller, like you would be given morphine today. He said, I cannot. But he said, wait until I pray and then do it. Because when I pray, my heart is somewhere else. And I will not feel the pain of what you do to me. And that is the first thing to be taken away from this ummah. That's why now, wallahi ana wala wama ubarri'u nafsi. I don't declare myself to be innocent. Wallahi, it is something which is almost gone from the ummah. And we don't say halak an-nas. We don't say there's nothing good in the people. Like in the khushu' that is described is almost gone from the people. It's been lifted up from the people. Till now you barely can find that khushu' anymore. Where a person completely loses themselves in the prayer, the only thing that their heart is focused upon is what they're saying and what they're doing before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they bear in mind that they're standing before Allah. And this is the only prayer that is counted. For a person might only be written for him 1/10 of his prayer. Why? Because only in 1 out of 10 moments in his prayer was he concentrating. And subhanallah, I don't know, wallahi al-azim, I don't even know how a person can even get a tenth of their prayer like that. You fear that you might not even get 10% of your prayer like that. Where your heart and your mind and your body is completely focused upon your praying. Like, there are things you can do to help. There are. One of them is use your body to still your mind as well as your mind to still your body. No doubt the asl in khushu' is the mind stills the body. That's the asl, right? Your heart stills your mind, stills your body. Your heart makes your body still. However, it is also possible to be careful about stillness of the body. For the more you are moving around and looking around and, playing with your ghutra or playing with your bisht or whatever it is, you're wrapping it around yourself or your thobe, you're playing it, scratching your hand, you're looking around, you're scratching your face. The more you're doing that, the more it is that your heart is going to wander from what it's supposed to be doing. But thinking about who you're standing before, going to the prayer with sakina and waqar, like the Prophet ﷺ told us. When you walk to the prayer, how do you walk to the prayer? With sakina and waqar, slowly and with dignity. You're coming to stand in front of Allah. As for running up the stairs and running into the saf, Allahu Akbar, and you dive into ruku' like some kind of Olympic dive. And from the other end of the masjid, it goes into Allahu Akbar and hits his legs in the ruku'. Subhana Rabbi al-Azim, Subhana Rabbi al-Azim, Alhamdulillah, quote the Salah. This is no way a person after that, their heart can be, if your blood is pumping, your heart is going like mad, you're out of breath. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. You can't, this goes against the whole concept of khushu'. Walk slowly with dignity. You're going to stand before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Think about who you're praying in front of. Come to the salah a bit early if you can. That you don't come in late and your mind is thinking about other things. And from the best of the ways, wallahi, that I believe is that when the adhan goes, and if there's usually, for example, it's nice in the Muslim countries, the adhan goes, there's like a set time, like 20 minutes, for example, to the iqamah. Put your stuff away at the adhan. Clear your mind at the adhan time. It doesn't have to be instantly. No one said it's not from the, and there's no harm. Like, for example, if you're in the middle of a shop, you don't have to drop your stuff and run out. And I remember the days where they used to do that in Saudi. I do remember. Well, I don't think it's like that anymore, but I remember the days in Saudi where it used to be like that. If the adhan went, bang, the shop shutter went down. It hit the floor before the first Allahu Akbar. And mashallah, tabarakallah. And everybody you drop your stuff. Like, and it's not shara and it's not required. And it might be the law or the rules there, but it's not like in the Sharia. You can finish that, little thing you're doing or whatever, but start to shut down your mind from the dunya from the time of the adhan. And when the salah finishes, don't get up straight away. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, and he's out. And he started again. Just like he dived into the ruku' at full speed, skidded along the masjid floor, hit the ruku' just before the imam said Allahu Akbar. What happens? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, and he's up. That also doesn't, your mind is racing. That means in the tashahhud, you're already mentally preparing to get up and run away. Slow yourself down. Think, learn the translation of what you're saying. If you don't speak Arabic, and if you speak Arabic, don't go into robot mode. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in, ihdinas sirat. Don't go into robot mode. Think about what you're saying. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Think about it. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Think about it. Maliki Yawmiddin. Think about that conversation between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hamadani abdi. Athna alayya abdi. For all of this is from that which settles your heart and makes your heart still, so that now you can be in a situation. And from it, wallahi, is the more you know about Allah's names and attributes, the more you respect the maqam of Allah, standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And also to remember that nothing is written for your salah except when your heart is present. Allah does not accept the dua nor the dhikr of the heart that is غافل له. It is unaware and it is heedless of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah does not accept the dua or the dhikr from the heart that is not concentrating on what it's saying. And sometimes you're just going through the motions. Sometimes, wallah, you're going through it so automatically. It's like you're planning the next meeting at work or something in your head while you're praying. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman. Because it's just automatic. Like in that salah, la tuktabu laka salah. It's not written for you as a salah. The first thing a person will be taken to account for Yawm al-Qiyamah is their salah. If it's accepted from them, everything will be accepted. And if it's not, everything will be rejected. For every single one of us has to go back and ask, where do you stand with regard to this ayah? الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ خَاشِعُونَ.